Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So we're approaching the auspicious day of Ratha-Yatra.
Jai.
Becoming another week or 10 days, yeah?
5 days.
5 days. 5 days only. Very close. So you have nice Jagannath here. So Ratha-Yatra, what is this Ratha-Yatra? This is the time when Lord Krishna with his brother and sister, brother Balaram, sister Subhadra, they're a family. And when it comes time, Ratha-Yatra, they want to go home. Just like when it comes to Eid or some holiday here in this place, you like to go home, right? You want to go back to your family. So Lord Krishna with his brother and sister, they also like to go home, like to go back to their family. That's Ratha-Yatra really. What happened was actually the first Ratha-Yatra, it took place at Kurukshetra. Now, of course, we know Kurukshetra from Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna and the Kauravas and the Yadavas, they're fighting there, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, big battle. But actually Kurukshetra is Dharma Kshetra. It's a holy place. It's a place of Dharma. People for millions of years, they would go there to do religious activities. So it happened 5,000 years ago, before Kurukshetra battle. There was an eclipse. There was going to be an eclipse. You know, when there's an eclipse, what happens? We close the temple. No darshan, right? We don't see the Lord when there's the eclipse. It's considered an inauspicious time. Sometimes when there's an eclipse, right? We're not supposed to eat, not supposed to drink. You're only supposed to chant, right? Chant. You do that when there's an eclipse. Just chant the holy name. Don't do anything else. So 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna, they know, the people know when the eclipse is coming. So Lord Krishna knew there was going to be an eclipse. So Lord Krishna sent a message to Vrindavan. At this time, Krishna was living in Dwarka. He'd gone to live in Dwarka. And he got married there. He had all of his wives. And he was living in Dwarka. But when he heard there was going to be an eclipse, then he sent a message to Vrindavan. And he told the people in Vrindavan, I want you to come to Kurukshetra and we can meet. Because we haven't seen each other for a long time. Lord Krishna wanted to be with his gopis. You know, the old girlfriends, right? from when he was a young boy. So he sent the message to Vrindavan, tell them to come to Kurukshetra and we can meet, because we haven't seen each other for a long time. I want to be with them, I want to see them again. Of course, usually the gopis, Radharani, they don't like to leave Vrindavan. Vrindavan is their very special place. They'll never leave it. But they arranged for their expansions to go there. Kurukshetra, not a very nice place. Although it's Dharma Kshetra, not like Vrindavan. You go to Vrindavan, so many trees and birds, parrots and peacocks and cows, so many cows. And River Yamuna is there. Govardhan, all of these things are there in Braj. So, gopis, they don't want to leave there. They go to Kurukshetra. But they arranged for their expansions to go there. All these devotees in Vrindavan, very powerful. They're greater than any yogi. So yogis, they can expand themselves. So the devotees in Braja also, Krishna's associates, they could also expand themselves. So they went to Kurukshetra to meet Krishna. It's described in the Chaitanya, you read the Krishna book, Prabhupada writes that the Krishna book is also described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how gopis came to Kurukshetra and they met Krishna. Krishna had come with all of his wives, and they brought all the great sages had also come with them. Vyasadeva and so many other great sages that all come there with Krishna, because there's going to be the eclipse. And when there's the eclipse, because eclipse is not auspicious, so they came there to Kurukshetra to do some religious activity to counteract the inauspicious situation. And they counteracted the situation by coming there and doing yajna and giving charity to the brahmanas and the great sages. So this is how they overcome the inauspicious situation. So Lord Krishna came to Kurukshetra and the gopis also came. Previously, when Krishna had gone to Mathura, it was the gopas who went with Krishna. The gopas, the cowherd boys, they went with Krishna to Mathura for the wrestling match. There's going to be a wrestling match in Mathura. So it's not very good. Gopis are not very comfortable watching wrestling. Not for ladies, really. So anyway, Gopals, they came there. So Krishna said this time, he said, let the cowherd boys, they can stay back and take care of the cows. And the gopis can come. Let the gopis come to Kurukshetra. So the gopis came there to Kurukshetra and Krishna came. And when they saw Krishna, when the gopis saw Krishna, they thought, oh, Krishna is not the same. He's changed. Just like people when they come to Dubai, They spend a year or two in Dubai, they go back home to India. Oh, look at her. Oh, look at him. They're so different because they've been in Dubai. So same way, Krishna came from Dwarka. And he's married now. Different. Before, the gopis only knew Krishna as a cowherd boy. And as a cowherd boy, the cowherd boy has a flute, playing the flute, because he will call the cow with the flute. And he wears a peacock feather on his head, because in Vrindavan there are many peacocks. So you can pick up feathers very easily there. So Krishna would decorate his head with peacock feathers and his crown. And he would be dressed like a cowherd boy. The cowherd boy is a very simple dress, coming from the village, taking care of the cows. You know, they didn't have any expensive cloth. So Krishna in Vrindavan was like that. And the gopis, of course, they're cowherd girls. They don't have a lot of jewelry. They don't have any fancy sari. You know, very simple lady, simple girls. The gopis. And Krishna was like that because he'd been living in Vrindavan and Braja. Every day go in the forest with the cows. But now he's come from Dwarka and he's very different. No more peacock feather, no more flute. Like a different man. Gopis are surprised. Who is this? This is Krishna? Oh, it's so different. This is how Krishna. And they said the gopis came there and they saw Kurukshetra. And they thought, this place, Kurukshetra, this is not like Vrindavan. This is not like our place in Vrindavan. Kurukshetra, everywhere there was the soldiers, the military people, the chariots, and the rumbling of the chariots, and the horses, and elephants also there. The gopis thought, this Kurukshetra, oh, this place is terrible. So noisy, so much dust from all the animals coming up and down, and the military moving around everywhere. So we don't like this place, Kurukshetra. We like Braja, we like Vrindavan. We like to be in Vrindavan where the Yamuna is, and our Govardhan Hill, and the cows. So they thought, this place, Kurukshetra, no. We want to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. So this was the first Ratha-Yatra. They got Krishna and they put him on the chariot, and they brought Balaram and Subhadra also, and then they wanted to take them back to Vrindavan. So the Ratha-Yatra, every year, it's performed in that mood. The mood is bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan. Krishna had promised he would come back, and he did come back. Actually, he came back several times. He would come back and go, come back and go. Because he married, he had his family. They had many wives and children. He has to take care of them. All the Yadu dynasty were there in Dwarka. They needed him. So Krishna would come and he would go. And this way, Ratha-Yatra is a festival of bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan. So every year, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take part in the Ratha-Yatra. Every year, Lord Chaitanya would take part. Of course, the festival would begin the day. Would begin actually with the Abhishek, the Snanyatra. Did you have Snanyatra here? Did you do the Snanyatra? No. Did you do Snanyatra?
Yeah, we had program.
Yeah. Every year, usually 15 days before, 15 days before the Ratha-Yatra, Snanyatra. Snanyatra, give the deities a bath. It's a big festival. Everybody comes and everybody will bring milk and yogurt and honey and ghee and they'll bathe the deities. Actually, it's Snanyatra Day. They say that is the day Lord Jagannath appears. It's his birthday. So birthday, to celebrate, give him a bath. On the birthday, keep the sun back and give him a bath and dress him in the nice clothes. We often do like that for the child when it's his birthday. Bathe him and put him in the best cloth. So, Snanyatra is like that. Krishna, Balaram, and Subhadra, they're bathed. And all the devotees come and they bathe the deities. And of course, it's a big festival. But the interesting thing, what happens after the Snanyatra, then Lord Jagannath and Balarama and Subhadra, they get sick. And for 2 weeks, you don't see them. When they're not well, just like if we're not well, no, I can't see anyone. I'm not well. I don't want to see anyone. I just want to rest. So, Lord Jagannath, Balaram, and Subhadra, they were in bed, resting for 2 weeks to get better because they had the bath. And maybe they bathed them in all the cold things. If you bathe in the cold water, then it's easier to get sick. So that the deities got Lord Jagannath gets so sick, and he's good for 2 weeks. He stays in the room, and stays in a room in isolation. Nobody gets to see him. Only 1 or 2 pujaris who are serving the deities. And they will bring special things for him. Just like when you're sick, you don't want to eat a lot of things. You would like to eat very simply, and you need to drink more liquid, more fluids. Some who do like that for Lord Jagannath during the time of his sickness will prepare nice different foodstuffs for some drinks, refreshing drinks to give them energy to get back their health. And some nice food which is easily digestible and which will give them more energy. I've got the Lord, He doesn't need these things, but it's a lila. It's to allow the devotees, all of us, to serve Him. Krishna's engaged, He's enjoying this. He likes to see the devotees serve Him. It gives Him a lot of pleasure. So Lord Jagannath is Lord Krishna, and He's enjoying in this way. And the Ratha-Yatra is an opportunity for this pleasure. So for 2 weeks, he gets sick, doesn't come out, no darshan. And every day, special drinks, special food. And then after 2 weeks, then next thing is Gundicha Martana. Gundicha is a temple where Lord Jagannath is going to go. When he comes out of the big temple, he's going to go down the road to the Gundicha temple. So before Jagannath comes here, they have to clean the temple because for 1 year nobody's been there. Temple has been empty for a year. So they have a festival the day before Jagannath comes. They call Gundicha Marjanam, the cleaning of the Gundicha temple. And Lord Chaitanya would take part every year with all the devotees, washing the temple and cleaning the temple. All the devotees would come and they'd all be given brooms and big pots to get water. They'd bring water. They'd flood everywhere. And the water, they'd wash the ceiling. They'd wash all the walls. The water would be flowing like a river. And this way they clean the whole place because the Lord is going to come. Lord Jagannath is going to come. So you have to make the temple very clean. So we also celebrate this festival even nowadays in our temples, Gundicha Marjana, cleaning the temple, getting the temple ready for the Lord to come. Gundicha Marjana, we see cleaning the heart is also like that. We need to clean the heart. So clean the heart by chanting the holy name. I kirtan, that's very important. So Lord Chaitanya, we take part every year, big festival, clean the temple, Gundicha Marjana, and then the next day, Ratha-Yatra. So the next day, the chariots come, big chariots. If you go to Jagannath Puri, you'll see the chariots are huge. And they build a new chariot every year. Every year they build a chariot, a new chariot. And they don't use any nails. They just somehow, they're such good expert. They're so expert with the wood. They get everything to fit together. So they have these big chariots. And Lord Jagannath's on one chariot, Lord Balaram's on another chariot, and Subhadra's on her chariot. Lord Chaitanya would organize all the devotees. When they pull the chariots, you have to have kirtan. Have you chant? Jai Jagannath,
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath,
Jai
Jai
Subhadra,
Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me.
Yes, Jagannath Swami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me. Of course, this is from the Jagannath Astikam. There's a whole song which the devotees will recite. Adachit Gandhi, Abhipina Sandhi, Tatarako. Like this, it's a whole big song, 8 verses. And then every verse ends, Jagannath Swami, Nayana Patagami,
Bhavatu Me.
Want to see Lord Jagannath kindly be visible unto us. So Lord Jagannath is put on the chariot, and the devotees will pull the chariot all the way to the Gundicha temple. But sometimes when the Lord goes on the chariot will get stuck. The chariot won't move. Pull, the chariot's not moving. And then they bring the elephant, and the elephant is pushing, and still chariot's not moving. They don't know what to do. Pushing and trying to push. The elephant's coming, and the elephant also cannot move the chariot. So they wonder what to do. Then Lord Chaitanya will come. And Lord Chaitanya said, I will do it. And Lord Chaitanya bows, this is his head, and he pushes the chariot. Because Lord Chaitanya is Lord Jagannath. He's not different from Lord Jagannath. So he can do this. Lord Jagannath, sometimes he doesn't want to go. He wants to stay in one place. So that when that happens, then the chariot gets stuck there. But then, if Lord Chaitanya comes, Lord Chaitanya can push the chariot so that it will move. So it's very nice festival every year. We celebrate the Ratha-Yatra of Lord Jagannath. It's very nice and important. And we encourage all the devotees to also celebrate Ratha-Yatra. Prabhupada, of course, he liked Ratha-Yatra. And as a young boy, even as a child, he was having his own Ratha-Yatra. That Prabhupada's father would arrange something for him. Prabhupada, at first he could not find any chariot. He couldn't find any way to have a chariot. But then, we then found out that, just by being a devotee, that he was given so much facility that they recognized Prabhupada as being a senior devotee, a senior Vaishnava. So it was arranged. Of course, as a young child, he didn't know. But as a young child, Prabhupada wanted to do Ratha-Yatra. So his father got a little toy chariot, like a pram. And they had like that. They put the Jagannath deity on the pram. And then they pushed it. But here in this part of the world, we cannot go out in public and do Ratha-Yatra. Usually other in Western countries, we do it very publicly on the streets. But here in this part of the world, it's not possible. So we do it inside. We do it inside. Just like if you go to Singapore also, Singapore, although we have a registered society there, they don't allow you to do things on the street. They don't want street chanting. They don't want dancing in the streets, Singapore, they're very business oriented. They just want business. They don't want religious thinking. So we don't. When we have Ratha-Yatra there in Singapore, what they do is we have a football stadium, and they go to the football stadium, and we'll go around the ground, to the chanting. And so, so the Ratha-Yatra often is done inside some building. And we come in the building and pull the chariot around and have kirtan at the same time. So Ratha-Yatra can be celebrated like that in a simple way, according to the time and the circumstances. So we try to do our best. Prabhupada accepted these difficulties. We're trying to become Krishna conscious and to create the Vrindavan mood. Lord Chaitanya will become ecstatic taking part in Ratha-Yatra, and he would be singing the glories of the Lord, and pulling the chariots. You're pulling Krishna back to Vrindavan. So this is, and then Lord Krishna will go to Vrindavan and stay there for 7 days, and then on the 8th come back. Takes 1 day to go, then 7 days there, and then the 9th day coming back. And there's this one festival, the Hera Panchami. On the 5th day, what happens is Lord Jagannath is married, He has a wife. His wife is Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, goddess of fortune. And Lord Krishna has gone off to Vrindavan, and he hasn't come back yet. So the wife is getting a bit worried. What happened to my husband? Where's he gone? So, Hara Panchami festival, it's a festival of Lakshmi coming with all of our servants. And they come there to the Gundicha, and they arrest some of the different people there. They arrest them. and they get them to bow down and get them to apologize for not coming back. It's a big festival that goes on. This on the 5th day, the Hera Panchami. And then there's a return Ratha-Yatra. They bring Lord Jagannath back on the 9th day. From the Gundicha temple, they bring him back to Jagannath Puri. And he goes back in to the temple. So Ratha-Yatra is very special because like Jagannath Puri, I cannot go in the temple of Jagannath Puri because I am not a Hindu by birth, and they only allow the Hindu people who are born Hindus to go into the temple. If you're born Christian or Muslim, you don't get in the temple. They're very strict like that. And if somebody who's a non-Hindu goes in there, then they have to cancel all the offerings and they have to clean the whole temple from top to bottom and throw away all the food that was prepared and cook again. So they're very angry. Somebody comes in the temple who is not the Hindu. So they have that rule. So 500 years ago, Sanatana Goswami and Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami, they did not go in the temple. They could not. Although Rupa and Sanatana but on Ratha-Yatra, Lord Jagannath comes out of the temple, and it's an opportunity for all the non-Hindus to get darshan of Lord Jagannath. Usually we cannot go in the temple, but Lord Jagannath is so merciful, he comes out of the temple and he's going to Gundicha, and all the devotees, everyone who is from other families, they can all get darshan of the Lord. So this is the mercy of Lord Jagannath. This is the beauty of Ratha-Yatra. It's the Lord coming to do darshan to all of his devotees, everyone, regardless of their birth. So in the past there have been many, many saintly persons who were not Hindus, and they would all come for the Ratha-Yatra. And Haridas Thakur, Sanatana Goswami, they would all take part in the Ratha-Yatra. So at the time of Ratha-Yatra, with ISKCON, when we have Ratha-Yatra, we always take the opportunity to distribute prasadam. And sometimes it happens also that the chariot will stop, and at that time, if there's any newly born child, young child, will be passed up onto the chariot. Just like Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. His father, his seminal father, was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in charge of he was in charge of the temple there in Jagannath Puri. And they had a house right on the main road where the chariot goes down to Gundicha. He was living there, the whole family, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family, they were living there right on the main road where the chariot passes. So it happened one year, a chariot came by, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife had delivered the child. The young boy, he was known as, I forget his name.
Bimal Prasad.
Bimal Prasad. Bimal Prasad. That was his name as a young child. So the wife, Bhagavati, she came out with the child, and because she was the husband, her husband was in charge of the temple, so she was able to pass the child up. She said, put my child at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. Get the blessings from Lord Jagannath. You see? So she passed her baby up onto the chariot, and they put the child at the feet of Lord Jagannath. And when the child was there at the feet of Lord Jagannath, the garland of Lord Jagannath fell off onto the baby. So everyone thought, oh, very special, very nice, very auspicious that Lord Jagannath is allowing his garland to go onto this child. So of course that child grew up to be a very powerful spiritual person. And he was the guru of our own founder, Acharya Bhaktivedanta Swami. So Ratha-Yatra, sometimes we do like that when we're pulling the chariot, the Bhakti lady will come through, they'll come with the baby and put the baby at the feet of Lord Jagannath to get the blessings from Lord Jagannath. At the same time, we also distribute a lot of prasadam, and all the time we're pulling the chariot, there will be kirtan, the chanting of the holy names. In the times of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees used to come from Bengal. They'd walk all the way from Bengal to Orissa, to Jagannath Puri, to take part in the Ratha-Yatra. And they would come from all the different villages. And each of the different villages would have their kirtan. And they would have all big kirtan. And Lord Chaitanya would organize who was the singer. Somebody would be the singer, someone would be the dancer, someone would be madanga players, two madanga players in each kirtan party. And many people playing the kartals, and it would be very organized, each of the different villages. They would all have their own kirtan groups, and Lord Chaitanya would locate them around the different chariots. One group in the front, another group in the back, two kirtan parties either side of the chariots, like this. Each of the chariots was surrounded like that by different devotees, chanting, dancing. So we also, today we also like to distribute prasadam when there's a kirtan, when there's Ratha-Yatra. We always prepare little packets of things to distribute to people so we can give them prasadam. And then we also like to distribute books at that time also. It's a good time to distribute books. When we have a big festival in the Western countries, usually somewhere like London or New York. In New York, they do the festival on the 5th Avenue. 5th Avenue, Prabhupada said, it's the most important street in the world, practically. It's the center, the main street in New York, the 5th Avenue. And we would have the parade right down there, the 5th Avenue. And Prabhupada would organize the chariots and all our vehicles, all the different vans and buses which the devotees used to preach it. They would all be in the parade. And we would be chanting all the way, chanting and dancing, distributing prasadam, giving prasadam to people, and try also to distribute books. Because book distribution is our family business, right? Just like your family has some business, so our family business is book distribution. So we try to distribute books to people, especially at Ratha-Yatra. It creates a lot of interest in people who are around. They think, oh, what's going on? What is this? What is that? I thought that we give them the book. Let them get a book. If they can get a book, then it's very wonderful, of course. We try to get people to pay for them. If they can give a donation, it's very good. Because then the donation can be used for the service of Lord Jagannath. If people don't have money, okay, then we will try to give the book, get somebody to sponsor the book and give them the book. But we try to give out as many books as we can to people to give them a chance to become Krishna conscious. So festivals like Ratha-Yatra is an opportunity. You get there's a lot of new people around, and you can give them a book, give them some prasadam. And then this way people often get their first contact with the devotees. So we try to introduce Krishna consciousness in this way. And Prabhupada he told Jayapataka Swami, he said, I want you to make Calcutta Ratha-Yatra bigger than the Ratha-Yatra in Jagannath Puri. Of course, that's a very big job. Ratha-Yatra in Jagannath Puri, hundreds of thousands of people. Anyway, in Calcutta, they have also very nice Ratha-Yatra. They do the same thing. They take the deities to a place, the deity stays there for 1 week, and then comes back. And every day there'll be big programs there. And every day distribute prasadam. Lot of prasadam. Because the whole of Calcutta will come. And people will come from far away, but just to attend the festival. There'll be a lot of katha, a lot of different drama, and different dances, different people all coming, taking part. It's very, very nice to be able to take part in all these different festivals. So Ratha-Yatra is a big festival in Calcutta. Everybody knows Ratha-Yatra in Calcutta. Then everybody wants to come. So we're trying to always increase. In Los Angeles, they have the Ratha-Yatra on the beach, Venice Beach. Very many people, thousands of people there. Devotees come, they have Ratha-Yatra, nice prasadam, very, very good prasadam. Distribute to everyone. People enjoy. So we try to make Ratha-Yatra more and more well known around the world. All the big cities, they have Ratha-Yatras now because of our devotees. One country I visit, Malaysia. In Malaysia, they have more than 30 Ratha-Yatras every year. So almost every weekend there's a Ratha-Yatra somewhere. 30 Ratha-Yatras in the year, many different places. It's a nice festival to bring devotees together, take part, to do sankirtan, to distribute literature. So this is our program for Krishna consciousness. We don't just sit in the temple. We go out, and Lord Jagannath also comes out in the temple. He also wants to come out to give his blessings to everyone. So merciful. Okay. Any question? Anyone?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Any particular question you want to ask to Maharaj? You can ask the question. I don't need to shy. It's a rare opportunity that we get associated with. So anything related to your sadhana, you can ask what you want. Maharaj, some devotee was asking that how you join Krishna consciousness.
Oh, I joined Krishna consciousness. I got a book. That's how I came to Krishna consciousness. I got a book. I got a Krishna book. I bought one. I was just in some shop one day, and I picked up this book, and it was called Krishna. It was a beautiful big book with a lot of color pictures. And I really didn't know anything about it, but I liked the book, and I bought the book and took it home and showed my friend. And then he said, I've got a book by this person too. And my friend, he had another book, different book, small book. And we were surprised, wow, this is amazing, we didn't know. But we'd heard about Hare Krishna because the devotees had come from America. I was in London, living in London. The devotees had come from America and they'd opened the temple in London. And so and then they made the record of Hare Krishna mantra. They'd recorded the record. It was very popular. It was on the radio and television all the time. So, but still I didn't go to temple. But when I got the book, and I read the book, then I thought I have to go to temple. And I went, and then I started going regularly. Every day we have kirtan, we do aarti every night. We had beautiful deities, and we have big kirtan, and nice prasadam. So I was attracted. I started to go regularly. And I became a devotee. By the Vedic Prabhupada's movement, Prabhupada's society, and his book. So you give books to someone, can change their life. These books are like bombs. They can change our life, Get us free, take us out of the material world. Bring us to spiritual life. So very important for us to try to distribute Prabhupada's books. Every year we try to distribute things like, there's one time in the year when they try to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhadra, then we distribute a set of Bhagavatam during Bhadra Purnima. Is the very auspicious, right? Get to go back to God. If somebody distributes and if somebody gets the Bhagavatam, they both get the chance to go back to God. So Bhadra Purnima. Then we have Prabhupada Marathon at Christmas time of the year in December. We distribute a lot of books at that time. And Janmashtami, of course, when there's a festival coming up like Janmashtami, it's a very good time to distribute books because we get a lot of new people coming.
Krishna, since you had the wonderful opportunity to lead the Prabhupada, can you just share something that you had an experience with him, it's worth sharing with everyone?
Oh yeah? Okay. So Prabhupada, he was very particular about everything. He was very careful. Like one day I was in the temple in Vrindavan, and it was midday, 12 o'clock, and they began the aarti. So there were not many people in the temple at that day. So I took the kartals and started to sing some kirtan. And after a few minutes, Prabhupada's secretary came out because Prabhupada was in Vrindavan at that time and he was staying in the house. He had his house just at the back of the temple. And he'd been listening to the kirtan. And he sent his secretary into the temple. And he said, "Why is nobody playing the mridanga?" I'd only picked up the kartals, I wasn't playing mridanga. And Prabhupada had been listening, couldn't hear any mridanga. He sent his secretary into the temple and said, "Why is nobody playing mridanga? When you have kirtan, you have to always play mridanga and kartals." Prabhupada so particular about these things. Very careful he was. To see everything, how we do everything. Another time in Calcutta, what happened, Prabhupada always checked the prasada. How is the prasada? Sometimes the prasada, they look very nice, sometimes they not cooked right. Like anyway, this one day, Calcutta, he wanted something. He said, when they make the fruit offering, he said, "Bring me the fruit. I want to see what you're offering to the deity." So that after the offering, they brought the fruit plate to Prabhupada and showed him, and Prabhupada tasted some of the different fruits. And then he said, who's purchased this fruit? And so the devotee said, oh, Prabhupada, it was purchased by Debu. Debu was a Bengali, he was about 25 years old, 30. And he was coming to temple, not initiated, he's a Bengali. So he had bought the fruit, he'd been asked to buy the fruit. Because, foreigners go, really cheap. They charge us more. And not very expensive. Anyway, Debu bought the fruit. And they told Prabhupada, Debu was brought the fruit. And Prabhupada said, tell Debu come and see me. So Debu went in when he came there. He told Debu, Prabhupada wants to see you. So Debu goes in to see Prabhupada, offers his obeisance. And Prabhupada said to Debu, he said, you are a Bengali and you don't know how to buy fruit. And so the fruits you bought for the deities, these were not good fruits. You should buy good fruits for the deities. You're a Bengali boy, you should know what is a good fruit. Like that Prabhupada, very particular. How we do everything, try to train us to do everything. Any more questions? You will do a start.
Every time we are like chat
Can you speak up? Hold the mic.
yeah. So, my question is that how should we find out break? Because even if we chant, we think of different things. So, I feel that when we are chanting the holy name, our mind should be more concentrated. But we always think of Maya. So, how should we keep Maya away? Even if we are chanting, things come in our mind, we tend to remember, we tend to forget. But how to keep the mind?
Yeah, how to avoid thinking of Maya when we're chanting, especially. We don't want to forget Krishna, right? So, when you're chanting, the important thing is to hear. If you're thinking of Maya, it means you're not hearing the mantra. Prabhupada says you use the tongue to chant and the ears to hear. If you're hearing the mantra, you concentrate on hearing, your mind will be absorbed in hearing the mantra. But if you're thinking of Maya, it means you're not hearing the mantra. So you have to concentrate more on hearing the sound of the mantra. Right? The process is hearing in chant. We chant, we have to hear. So that's important for us. That you don't want to be thinking of Maya, you have to think Krishna. You have to hear the holy name. When you think of Krishna, there'll be no Maya. So we have to, where the mind wanders, you bring it back. You have to train the mind, fix the mind on the holy name. Yeah, it's not easy. It's a challenge. But this is what we have to do. We have to conquer the mind by good japa. So chant louder. If you chant louder, your mind will be more captivated by the sound. If you're just sitting, it's not a good thing, right? You have to hear the holy name. Don't try to chant in your mind. That's not so easy thing to do. But try to hear the holy name. Prabhupada said, when we chant, our lips have to move, our tongue has to vibrate. You have to hear the holy name. Then you can focus the mind on hearing. right? And you want to hear the syllables of the whole Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Right? When we chant like that, then you hear. You see? So we have to always constantly bring the mind away from Maya. Don't leave it with Maya. The mind goes to Maya, bring it back. Right? Get it under control. Train the mind. Don't allow it to stay with Maya. And then we have to constantly be hearing the holy name chant. So louder chanting is good for us. Chanting and good association. Be careful where you chant. Sometimes places you chant there are many distractions. But to chant in front of the deities, very powerful, very nice. But you chant at home, maybe you've got children there, say different things. Or and of course nowadays everybody has a mobile phone. You chant in one hand and the mobile phone's in the other hand. You know, we're chanting, but who's contact, who's sending me messages, right? We get in these kind of habits, you see. And have to be very firm with ourselves to control the mind. Don't let the mind get distracted and get caught up with other things. You have to hear. Very so practice. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna 6th chapter, Lord Krishna was describing about yoga to Arjuna and about controlling the mind. And Arjuna said, oh, very difficult. My mind is more restless than the wind. Right? But Lord Krishna said, Asamshayam Mahabaho Manu So two things are important. Abhyas, constant practice, and vaira, detachment. Don't hold on. Maya. Let go of the Maya. You're holding on to the Maya. So you have to let go of that. You have to focus on the chanting. And don't be worried, oh, what am I going to cook for breakfast? Oh, what am I going to what? You know, you have to just chant, you know, and hear the holy name. So it's a challenge if we have abhyas, constant practice, detachment. Okay.
Sorry, Krishna.
What one thing way to come into update? What one thing? There must be a lot of things which persuaded you to come to the place. But what is that one path which made you come and choose this path?
Well, I was looking at different spiritual teachers, and I was, you know, thinking about their different processes and so on. But I wasn't greatly impressed with their teaching. But when I read Prabhupada's book, it was very clear. I could understand what he was talking about. Other people, they would, you know, they had their books about yoga and things. And you know, I read it, but it didn't didn't seem so impressive. But when I read Prabhupada's book, it really had a big effect. I was really appreciating that this is something genuine and I have to know more. And so I started to go to their center and I started to attend their classes. And really, I wasn't thinking, oh, this is bhakti or anything like that. No, it was just that the opportunity was there, that they were there, the books were there, and they were teaching, and I wanted to know more. So I started to find out more.
Last question.
My name is Kiran and I'm from Pakistan, Karachi. And at our place, like we have a lot of people at our home and we have worship started for life. I have worshipped since my childhood. I have already met my brother. I used to die on his wrist. But I have other deities as well. We have always worshipped Mata Rani, Ma Durga, and Hanuman, and Shiv Bhagwan. We worship everybody almost. So, is it okay to worship all of them at once? Like we do that. So this is something which comes to my mind frequently. That is that okay if I worship Ma Durga as well and Krishna as well, because I'm very connected to Ma Durga also. There is a 9 days come for Ma Durga. There is a special worship goes on and I do part as well. I don't do fasting, but I do parts and I do Christian. So that okay if I worship different at different stations and I do pranam to everyone, to all the deities which are at my home. And that's what I've seen since my childhood. So this is a question in my mind.
Uh-huh. Yes, well, we also offer our respects to all of these personalities. Where then you can read also in Chaitanya Charitamrita how Lord Chaitanya would visit the different temples. Like Madurai, Meenakshi, Lord Chaitanya would go there, offer respects there. He would go Kanyakumari, offer respects there. You know, the different temples, you see these different people. You would go to Shiva temple, Durga temple, like, and offer respects. And we have also the different verses are there. If you read a book called Brahma Samhita, you can read there how we worship these different personalities. Like Ganesh, how it's mentioned that we worship Lord Ganesh in relation to Govinda, and Lord Shiva in relation to Govinda, and Mother Durga in relation to Govinda. There are verses for each of these different personalities there in the Brahma Samhita, describing their relationship with Govinda, Krishna. Right? Just like we worship Mother Durga, Shristi, Sthiti, Pralaya,
Sadhana Shakti Eka Chayai Vajasya Bhuvanani Vivarti Durga Icharupama Piyasya Chacheshtate Sa Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajam.
Yeah, the meaning is the creating, maintaining, and annihilating deity of the mundane world is worshipped by all people as Durga. And Mother Durga, it says that she moves like a shadow under the direction of Govinda. And this is Mother Durga's position. She is not independent, but she moves like a shadow under the direction of Govinda. And similarly, Lord Ganesh, right?
Yatpada Pallavayugam Vinithaya Kumbha Vande Pranama Samaye Sagadadhiraja Vignan Vihantu Manamasya Jagantrayasya Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
As I said, Lord Ganesh, he's holding the lotus feet of Lord Govinda on the two tusks which were coming from him. He's holding those lotus feet on his head. And in this way, Ganesh is empowered to destroy obstacles on the path of devotion because he's empowered by Govinda. And Lord Shiva,
Shiram Yatadadi Vikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahi Tata Pritagasti Eto Yaha Shambhutamapi Tatha Samupeti Karya Govindavadipurusham Tamaham Bhaja.
Lord Shiva is described to be like the yogurt, and Lord Vishnu is like the milk. The relationship between Lord Shiva and Vishnu is like that, milk and yogurt. Milk can be made into yogurt, but yogurt never becomes milk. So the same way Vishnu can become Shiva, but Shiva never becomes Vishnu. There's a relationship. All of these different personalities, we offer our respects to all of them. Hanuman, of course, is a great devotee, a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. So we also offer our respects to Hanumanji. And Garuda is also the carrier of Lord Vishnu. We always put Lord Garuda there at the temple as the carrier of Lord Vishnu. So all the different personalities, we worship them, but at the same time we know they're different from the Supreme Lord. It's not that they're all one. It's not that they're all the same. There is one Supreme over all of them. They are great personalities and they're engaged in some service on behalf of the Supreme Lord. So we have to understand their relationship with the Lord. Less intelligent people, they often think, for all the gods are one. We don't agree. No, there is one Supreme and all others are his servants. Hanuman is not God, he's a servant, Lord Ramachandra. Right? He's always kneeling with his hands folded, waiting to serve. And Garuda is also a servant of the Lord. In the same way, Lord Shiva, we say Vaishnavam Yata Shambhu. Lord Shiva is a great Vaishnava. We have to understand the position of all different personalities. And we shouldn't think they're all one or the same. There's a difference. And they each have their own different services to do on behalf of the Supreme Lord. So in this way, you understand Krishna consciousness and you have a more complete understanding of all of these different personalities. We also go to the temples of these and we also offer our respects there. But we won't take their prasadam unless it's first offered to Lord Vishnu. We only eat Vishnu prasadam. But Vishnu prasadam can be offered to Durga and Shiva, then we can take the prasadam. But we won't take simply Shiva prasadam if it's not been offered. First it's offered to Vishnu, then it's offered to Shiva and Durga, and then we can take it. Understand?
Yeah. Even my sister was very confused with this because her husband always criticizes her about that and you worship Durga and you worship Krishna as well. And nobody's gonna, he's not going to be successful and you're not gonna learn anything and will not get whatever you desire because you worship two deities at the time. So this was actually the question actually was from her. It was in my mind, but she mentioned to ask because I told her that I used to go to, I started going to Gita class recently, like it's been a month only. I used to read. I do read. Sometimes it's not my regular practice after kids as I get busy, as I get very much occupied with my toddler kids. But yes, I do worship. But she mentioned that please ask Prabhuji because it is troubling my mind and it is making me distracted and I cannot keep my thoughts at one beginning because now my mind is perplexed with this thought that okay, I am doing worship, but it is going to be successful at the end, like my eternal life after the death. It is going to give me some boon in a way that I get moksha, Like, is it okay if I worship both of them, or I should get concentrated on Krishna only? So,
Well, usually a person who have particular faith towards one deity, you say that Istadeva. You can see, like in our centers, we are often worshipping Radha Krishna, there may be also Sita Rama, there may also be Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Bhumika, they're all there. You'd all be there. And we could be devoted to all of them. They're different, and at the same time, they're one. The same, the Lord comes in different forms, but Krishna is Ananta Rup. He has many forms. We have to understand who they are. You can worship too, but you have to understand their position. Are they the same or are they different? Just like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually Krishna. Radha and Krishna, we say Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nayana. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Radha and Krishna. So when we worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can also see him as the combined form of Radha and Krishna. And Lord Ramachandra, he's the avatar. Ramani Murtishu Kalani Abena Krishna Nana Avatar Kinto Krishna Swayam Samagavat Paramatmanyo Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Lord Ramachandra is mentioned there in that verse that he is one of the avatars of Lord Govinda. He has many different forms, and Lord Ramachandra is one of the avatars. But Lord Ramachandra, he is God, and he's coming in the role of the perfect king. He's showing us how to be the perfect Raja. And especially, that's it, the purpose of Lord Ramachandra. He's Maryada Avatar. Lord Ramachandra, Maryada Avatar, showing the perfect etiquette, the perfect behavior. Lord Krishna is different. Lord Krishna is Purushottam. He is the supreme person. He is showing us the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So we also worship Lord Ramachandra. Damodar, we celebrate. We preach also about Lord Rama, the glories of Lord Rama. But it's Lord Krishna who is the supreme. Now, just because Lord Krishna is the supreme, you may like to be a devotee of Lord Narasimha. Many people are very attracted to Narasimha avatar. They like to worship Lord Narasimha. Okay, not a big deal.
but they are all avatars, right? Krishna Bhagwan is also an avatar of Lord Vishnu. And
that's sure wrong. You see, Lord Vishnu, where does Lord Vishnu come from? If you study our philosophy, Lord Vishnu is an expansion coming from Lord Krishna. You see, Lord Krishna is the original supreme, and he expands himself first as Baladeva, and then Sankarsana, and then you have the Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and then you have a second Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and then from them comes the Vishnu avatars. There are three Vishnus. There's Karana Dakashaya Vishnu, Garbha Dakashaya Vishnu, and Shira Dakashaya Vishnu. They are the expansions coming from Lord Krishna. Now from Garbha Dakashaya Vishnu or Shira Dakashaya Vishnu, that's where the avatars come from. They come through Shira Dakashaya Vishnu. And when I was a new devotee, I looked in the English dictionary, I looked up the word Krishna, when he said the eighth avatar of Vishnu. The eighth avatar of Vishnu. But if you look at Jayadev Goswami's Dasa Avatar Stotra from the Gita Govinda, you won't see Krishna there as the eighth avatar. You'll see Balaram, but not Krishna, because Krishna is the supreme. Keshava Drita Narahari Rupa. Is Keshava Drita? Who's that Keshava? That is Krishna. So Jayadeva Goswami, he understood these things. He wrote that Avatar Stotra. But it's Krishna who's the original supreme. And all these avatars, they're coming from him.
Now it is quite
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for your auspicious appearance and valuable time for the corresponding conditions. So I want to thank both of our Bhuti Mataji for hosting the dinner, and Prabhu will give our token of gratitude to Maharaj on our DSO community behalf. And I also welcome Nan Kumar Prabhu and Mr. Gokul Prabhu by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for this family and all the devotees. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I wish we can get more time of Maharaj, but Maharaj has to back-to-back program. This is the third program Maharaj is hosting. So just see the Maharaj age and still how much effort, the life they are dedicating for the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and everywhere the following conditions fall for us. They are going door to door. We are not going to them, but they are coming to us. This is a big, big mercy and a gratitude to Maharaj. So Maharaj has told that in today's lecture there are two teachings are there. So first of all, I request all the devotees who are present here. On 26th, we have our DSO Ratha-Yatra and about 100 devotees about to come. This is the second time we are doing. So all your devotee enthusiasts, they come forward and give your time, your service for the Ratha-Yatra in the presence of Maharaj. And there is a Ratha-Yatra grant for the next week in the Yatra level. So I request all the devotees, we will send you the message where the Ratha-Yatra will happen in the Yatra level. So you all have to come for the next week, but 26th there is a Ratha-Yatra in Silicon. And as Maharaj said in the lecture, Maharaj joined Krishna consciousness through the Srila Prabhupada books. I am from Pakistan. I also joined Krishna consciousness through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada book I found in the library, which was bought in 1983 from the Russia from my father bought it from Russia. So Maharaj, we are not qualified. We are following conditions. So we need your blessings and the mercy. Today I am giving an announcement that by your mercy till end of this year, December, we Silicon Valley community devotee will raise the funds for 1,000 Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita ki. So for this, Maharaj 200 Bhagavad Gita has already been sponsored. So 800 Bhagavad Gita are there. So you can contribute as per your need, but till the end of the December, we are not saying you sponsor complete, but Maharaj, we will sponsor 1,000 Bhagavad Gita and distribute among the needy people. And especially, I distribute in the Pakistan and community for the preaching there. So after every 3 months, so last year also we distribute 1,000 Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita we printed there as well. So we need your blessings and the mercy, Maharaj. And the last thing I request, all the devotees should beg mercy of Maharaj. Maharaj is coming every time, once in a year or twice in a year. So Maharaj, whenever you are in Damodardesh, please give us your blessing by coming to DSO program. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare. So we will not take much of your time. After 5 minutes, Maharaj has to leave. Maharaj has another programs as well. So our kids want to perform something, Maharaj, for 2-3 minutes, and we will not hold you for long. But again, we are very grateful to Maharaj, your auspicious presence and your presence make us purified, and by your mercy, please bless us. We serve the Prabhupada in this area where the devotees are coming regularly. Hare Krishna. So the kids can come. Who is practicing well? Nirmala, Hare Krishna. Nirmala. Okay, come. Quickly, huh? Okay. Hare Krishna.
So we're going to recite some shlokas and we're reciting Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Sarvasyacha Ridhisam Vishto Matta Jnanamohananja Svedescha Sarvameva Vedyo Veda, the great Veda with the Devaja. The translation is I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. And from all the Vedas, I am to be known indeed the compiler of the Vedanta and the knower of the universe.
Very good. Baruki. Therefore, he
Let's recite the poem 15.1. So I'm gonna start. Shri Bhagavan Vacha
there you go. Very good. Which one for me?
The translation is the Supreme Personality of Godhead said that there is an impenetrable banyan tree with its roots upwards and its branches downwards, and the whose leaves are within the Vedic hymns, and one who knows the trees belong to the Vedas.
Very good. Very good. Very good. It's very fast. But even if we can quick. So, Maharaj, we request all the devotees your name is Bhakti Vinodar Singh Narasimha Swami Maharaj ki.
Jai.
So, at the end of the program, Maharaj will sing Narasimha Arati. So, in your presence, if you don't mind, Maharaj, we will sing the Narasimha Arati for quickly. Hare Krishna. Yes, Maharaj.
Namaste, Namaste, Narasimhaya. Kamala Hare Atha Adhuta Shringa Galita Vilayakatiko Adhokinta Ishamadita Adhamritupa Jai Jagadita Hare.
जय श्री कृष्ण भगवान की
जय जय हरि हरि बोल.
all the devotee can make queue and get the blessings of Maharaj and take the prasad from Maharaj. Line by line. सबसे पहले बच्चे आते हैं. The kids